We're now going to look at financial maths compound interest. So it's very similar to simple interest, but there's one big difference. The similarities: it is a reward for keeping your money in a bank account and is paid by the bank, and it's added to the account every year. But here's the big difference. Compound interest is calculated on the amount of money in the account at the start of each year. So you have to do a calculation every single year to work out the compound interest added. In other words, it's not the same amount of interest that you get each year. It will differ slightly. Okay. Simple interest, if you can remember, it is calculated on the amount of money in the account at the start of the first year, and then it will be the same for every year, but not the case with compound interest. We must do a calculation every single year. So let's take a look at the example. It says a bank pays 6% compound interest per annum per year on money in a bank account. Mrs. Brown puts £3,200 into a bank account. How much money will she have in her bank account at the end of 3 years? So remember, this is compound interest. We have to do a calculation for every year. So let's start with year one. So year one begins and Mrs. Brown puts £3,200 in the account. And remember, what you start with is always 100%. So 100% is equal to £3,200. Now, she gets 6% compound interest per year. So in other words, the bank reward her by giving her 6%. So if she starts with 100%, she's going to finish the year with 106% because they've given her 6%. So we need to work out 106% to get what she has in her account at the end of year one. So again, how do you get from 100% to 106? We're going to divide both sides by 100 to get 1%. So that's going to give us £32. Then we're going to have to multiply both sides by 106. So 32 multiplied by 106 is going to give us £3,392. So that's the amount of money Mrs. Brown has in total in her account at the end of year one. Now, because she doesn't get the same amount of interest paid each year because it's compound interest, we have to do another calculation to work out the amount of money she gets at the end of year two. So we're now into year two. And we start every single year or every single new calculation with 100%. So at the beginning of year two, the amount of money she has in her account is worth 100%, so that's 3,392. Now again, during this year she gets 6% compound interest, so they're going to pay her or give her 6% more. So if she starts with 100%, she's going to finish the year with 106%. So again, we're going to have to divide both sides by 100 to get 1%. So 1% is going to be £33.92. And then we're going to have to multiply both sides by 106 to get what 106% is. So go back to calculator, multiply £33.92 by 106, and that's going to give her £3,595 and 52 pence. So that's what she has in her account at the end of year 2. Now year 2 has come to an end, and then year 3 begins. So she's going to start year 3 with the amount of money she had at the end of year 2. So year 3. Each new year, each new calculation, you start with 100%. And that's equal to £3,595.52. So again, they give her 6% compound interest. So if she starts the year with 100%, she's going to finish the year with 106%. So again, we've got to get from 100 to 106. So we're going to divide both sides by 100. That's going to get us 1%. And 1% is going to be 0.9552. Don't worry about the fact that this doesn't make sense here, because it doesn't matter. We still have to do something else, and we're going to multiply now both sides by 106. So let's go back to calculator. So go back to calculator. We've got 35.9552 multiplied by 106, and that's going to give us £3,811.2512, and we'll deal with that in a minute. So that's the amount of money in the account at the end of year 3. So to answer the question, first of all, how much money will be in her account at the end of 3 years? So we're going to round this to the nearest penny. So we're looking at the second decimal place, go to the digit after, it's less than 5, so we keep the second decimal place the same. So the answer is the amount of money in her account at the end of 3 years is £3,811.25. Now, there's something else we want to highlight here. Again, the reason this is a compound interest question is because you're not receiving the same amount of interest each year. If you take a look at year 1. So year 1, Mrs. Brown started with 3,200 and she finished with £3,392. So in that year, she received £192 of interest. That's what she got. What happened in year 2? She started with 3,392 and she finished with 3,595.52. So the difference between those will give us the interest in year 2. So 3,595.52 subtract 3,392. So she's going to get £203.52 interest. So you see straight away that's why this is a compound interest question. You do not receive the same amount of interest every year. That's why we have to do a brand new calculation each and every year to work out how much money's in the account. And then just to prove it further, work out the interest that was added in the final year. So work out the difference between what she started and finished the year with. So £3,811 and 2512, and then we're subtracting 3,595.52. So that's about £215.73 interest. £215.73 interest. So hopefully that's clear to see the difference between compound interest and simple interest. Remember, simple interest is only calculated on the amount of money at the beginning of year one. Compound interest is calculated on the amount of money every year. Okay, so you have to do a calculation for every single year when it's compound interest. You only need to do a calculation for year one when it's simple interest.